Good morning guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc. Sorry about the delayed upload situation thing that happened yesterday. I was here on Monday, filmed, tried to upload it that night and have it going the next day because sometimes my upload speeds are a bit slow, but for some reason I had an internet issue and it didn't get uploaded, so I had to basically restart it again last night. You probably only just saw it sort of this morning when I published it. But anyway, sorry about skipping a day. I had, as I've said in the previous video, I had a family thing that I had to go to, but I'm back on work now. So for the Corvette, something I've kind of done in spare time around when I've been filming, like late Monday evening and just early now this morning, I have modified and sort of refinished the amp mounting board thing a wee bit. Basically what I did, actually I realised I could have showed you when I didn't show you before I put it all back in, but basically, so you know the board that was under here, it like finished at the edges of the amp, I extended it on both ends with some more wood, and the way I did that was, so the board that I had already made up had like a chamfer sort of round over on it, so I got a couple of pieces of 18mm and did the opposite round over on it so that it like kind of slotted into it. I matched the 45 degree cut so that it kept like following on, got the right widths, and I put a piece of 6 or 8mm on the back of it with wood glue and brad nails. Basically, so this was the original piece of wood, and then this is the new one, and then I put a smaller piece of wood behind it like that and put nails through both of them with when I say nails I mean like air gun nails, brad nails, just to hold it while the PVA glue dries, and it's worked pretty well. They're nice and strong. The reason I've extended them out that far, I know I already needed to do this one so that I could put LEDs down the side, since I made it a bit short to begin with. I extended them all the way out to the sides though, so that when I put the beauty panel on, I can put some screws through it and secure the beauty panel to the mounting rack, because my idea of it just sitting in place was working pretty well, but not to the extent that I wanted it. I wanted it to tighten down a wee bit further on the corners, so having that wood there will be like a nice anchor point for me to screw it down to, and that should work fine. You guys will probably see when I do it, you'll understand more if I haven't explained that clearly. But yeah, I extended that wood, and today, pretty sure today, I should be able to carpet the beauty panel. Yeah, you guys all told me definitely do carpet for a couple of reasons. A, to match the interior look. I hear you. I can see why that would look a bit better than vinyl being sort of out unmatched. Only thing the vinyl would match against would be the backs of the seats. But I think carpet, since it's in the trunk, will look better. And also because it's going to hide imperfections better. You guys all said with experience that vinyl shows imperfections and carpet hides them. So I'm listening to you guys, I'm going to do that, and I'm pretty sure I've already got some carpet that I can use. It's actually my carpet. I paid for this a while ago, but I had leftover, so I don't really mind using it. But I just got some in this bag here, some black carpet, and I've already taken it over to the car and checked it, and it looks like a pretty good match to me, to the carpet that's in there. I don't think we'll get an exact match, but color wise it's pretty much spot on, and like sort of, I guess, texture, it's pretty much there as well. So I'm going to use that carpet and wrap this panel, which is finished by the way. So I've got the nice round over edge on it. Again, I didn't film that, it's just something I did in my spare time, but it would have just been a time lapse of me sanding anyway. So this has got a round over edge, and I've got it matched so that when this is up on the thing, on the car, this surface here is pretty much like flat or horizontal. So it looks like it comes up, levels off, and then goes back down again. And yeah, I've sanded, so I sanded that, sanded these edges to make them a bit smoother, the transitions are a bit smoother. Also, the underside of here, that's already done. Underside of here is all sanded, just so it's all lined up and smooth, no bumps. Apart from that, whatever the hell that is. So yeah, anyway, I think my plan today is to carpet this thing. Hopefully my rabbiting grooves are good enough. probably not up to the same standards as Mark from Car Audio Fabrication. I don't have a fancy router lift that can tell me exactly how deep I'm going, but it looks like I've made it about 1 millimeter deep all the way around, and then this edge, obviously you've got a great big carve out of here, which I'll just sort of spray and match, I guess. So yeah, I really don't think this will take me too long, and hopefully it turns out good. My main concern that I might come across is once the carpet is wrapped around all these edges, the hole then not fitting over the amplifier. I'm pretty sure I've got it, you know, a decent enough edge around all of them, but I don't want to jinx it, and I don't want to like get overconfident about it. I feel like for some reason, I don't know, I just know my luck. Anyway, this is good to go. Yeah, let's carpet this thing. Okay guys, so that trim panel, I'm just letting the paint that I just put on it and the glue dry just an extra 5 or 10 minutes before I try putting it in the car or anything like that. In the meantime, what I think I might do, I was having to think about it, and if you remember in my last video when I tuned the amps, I used the tuning settings to achieve the maximum sound quality. Now, this is all, no matter what I do, this is going to have good sound quality in the car. So what I'm thinking I might do, because we are mainly building this system to actually be loud more than anything, like not so much SPL, like we're only doing one subwoofer, but I think volume in this case is more important to the customer than actual sound quality. Like he wants to be able to show it off and, you know, just absolutely blare the speakers and scare people away basically. So I think what I'm going to do real quick, I'm just going to time lapse it. I'm actually going to go through the tuning of the amps again with the SMD DD1, and I'm going to instead tune it to the tracks which are recommended for a louder system as opposed to a more higher quality system. There's only 2 tracks for the 4-channel amp, like a -5 and a -10 dB version, and for the subwoofer there's a -5, 10 and 15 version, and I think we definitely want the most bass we can get out of this thing. So I'm going to make a judgment call and tune these amps to, it'll still be distortion free to an extent, like the DD1 will still say that it's distortion free, but I'm going to try and maximize the possible output I can get from it. So I'll do that real quick. There you go guys, the amps are retuned, so just for your reference in case you're interested, for the 4-channel amplifier you can either use tracks 4 or 6, which are 1 kilohertz at either -5 dB or -10 dB. I use track 6, so that's a 1 kilohertz tone at -10 dB to make it louder essentially. And then for the subwoofer one I used track 7 which is a 40 Hz tone at minus 15 dB, so the subwoofer is going to be quite prominent, which is good. It's what we want. This is meant to be like a show-off sound system, not just to sit in here and make people go, ooh, this is nice and, you know, subtle. We want it to be beastly and loud and all of that good stuff. And also the other thing, I tuned it for the subwoofer amp, since the stereo has a independent subwoofer volume control on it, I tuned it with that tune, so that with the subwoofer output of the stereo up to 10 out of 15 or 2/3, it doesn't distort, but as soon as you go up to 11 out of 15, that's when it does start distorting. So we can just, you know, tell the customer rule of thumb, as soon as you go above 10 on the subwoofer output, you will get distortion, just be aware of that. But it basically gives him the opportunity to, if he really wants to, you know, thrash his own gear like that, he can still go louder just with a turn of a knob, rather than having to, you know, have the amps retuned or anything like that. And, you know, it's up to the customer. It's up to the customer what he wants to do with his gear, how good or badly he wants to treat it, how often he wants to play it loud. So I give them the opportunity to, you know, do both. If they want to thrash their gear and come back and replace it because they broke it, that's fine. We don't mind getting them another $900 odd subwoofer, that's fine. So yeah, that's all tuned up. Now let's see if the panel has finished drying. Looks like it has. These shiny bits are just where the paint has dried over some of the glue over spray. Otherwise I think it looks like it could probably go in the car. Do kind of wish I painted the back side of it before I carpeted it, but you know, that's okay. It was an afterthought. It's not a problem. Hopefully, this is gonna be a moment of truth a wee bit, because hopefully this still fits over the amps with the carpet on it. This will be a test. Now the amps, the board is secured down, but I haven't tightened the amps down yet because they are gonna have to come back off for LEDs to go in anyway. So I've just got them. The screws are in the holes, but they're not tightened down yet. That's why they're just a wee bit loose, you know, but they are held there. Okay. Let's see if I can get this panel over here. Hopefully it looks good. Put the plastic down. Okay. What do you think of my carpet choice, guys? It's just plain black carpet. I think it matches the interior of the car pretty well. Okay, please fit. I think we're good. It's a snug fit, but that's what I wanted. I wanted it to look snug. Can't tell if it is sitting all the way down or not, or if it's stopping or something. There we go, I think it's down. This end is just sitting down. This side's going down pretty well. So those screws I was talking about before will go through here and screw into that extended panel that I was talking about. Now what's going on over this side? This side doesn't want to, it's just getting it around the crossover rubber outlines, I think. It's just a wee bit resistant. But no, there we go. There we go. It's looking good. I'm happy. The problem is, it was really hard to carve out this underside angle because I'm just using a hand, like an electric power file, and I don't know if it's level or like deeper at this end and higher at that end, or if it's like wobbly or what it is, because I'm just doing it by eye because we haven't got anything to really do it by machine. But this amp is looking really good. I knew that the carpet was going to make it sit up a wee bit higher because the panel was looking pretty flush with the amps without the carpet on it, so I knew the carpet would be a wee bit taller. But I think it's all good, except for it's just this amp over this side for some reason. I feel like this amp could sit up by another like 3 mils. Maybe I could make up a little foot for it out of some 3mm MDF. That might be a good idea. I could possibly actually do the same for... See, this one's looking good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with where the crossovers meet it. And we'll have screws at that end holding it down and screws at this end holding it down. And then that will go there. I feel like all of it just needs to be like exactly 3 mils higher, which is the height of the carpet. I'll be honest with you guys, this is the first time I've ever had to make up a beauty panel like this sort of thing before, I think. I think I've done a pretty good job for like a one-off time. I'd be happy if it was my car. That's what matters. Okay, so now what I need is to mark chalk line on there. Unless I can just do this, because I just followed this line. Help me know where I can and can't drill screws. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put one to help push this down. I'm going to put a screw here, here, 2 screws here, and 2 screws here, and that's going to squeeze it down to the amp rack. There we go. Okay, there's my holes that I need to drill. So I can take this off and go drill those holes because I want to do it carefully in the right places. That goes up there, like that. Okay, get this set in the position that it's going to be. So now what I can do is drill these through, and where they make a mark, that's where I drill a hole. Okay, so now those marks have been made on the board, I can drill out. Okay, the question is, can I drill these without having to move the amps? I really think I'd like the vacuum in here as well. Oh Jesus, that scared me. It's got the plastic and I was like, wah! Okay, there we go. Okay, now, with some luck, I should be able to just, thread these into the wood underneath. Push it down to the height that I want it, and then now carefully tightening these things up, because what it can do is grab the carpet and twist it. And there we go. Done. It's in. It's good to go. Secured. Nice. It is level all the way along all of the amps and crossovers. Awesome. Only parts that may be less level are probably these 245s here. Like I would really need a screwed in the middle here to hold it somehow down to the floor or something, but I don't want to put another one in. I'm happy with those 6. Sweet! That looks good. And then this thing goes there. When I designed this thing, I didn't imagine I'd have all this extra space at the bottom. It's just what's worked out. But rather than putting this down the middle there or something, or like along here, I don't know, I prefer the idea of it lining up with this line here. And that way this gap and these gaps are all the same. And also because if you ever put stuff in the boot here, the first place it's going to receive scratches or anything is this sort of surface, because it's lowest down. So if that was down there, it'd probably get scratched pretty quick, but even though, I mean, it's a wee bit scuffed, but up here it's going to last a bit longer. So that's how it's going to look. I could probably actually mark and drill that in as well. Sorry, I can't believe push down. There we go. Okay guys, the amp rack is so close to being done, but it's upholstered, it's made, it's assembled. Literally the LEDs are the only thing left to do on this amp rack. It's in, it's assembled, looks good, I'm happy with it, it's screwed down. The amps, as I say, aren't screwed down fully yet because I know I'm going to have to take them out to put LEDs in. So it will come back out and I'll put the LEDs in and then it'll be done and that'll be another video. But yeah, it's looking awesome. I'm really happy with how it looks. By the way, I've hooked the sub up to the wires in the car. A, to make sure it goes and it's not somehow a dud. But also B, what I like to do when I'm doing big hefty subwoofer installs like this, if I've got the time for it, like on this sort of car I do, I like to hook them up to the output of the amp for, you know, at least a few days or something before handing it over to the customer, because it's like a little warm-in. I like to give them a little time to run in before we actually do the full setup and test and everything like that, and also because it means I've got more of a chance of hearing it when it's properly running rather than missing out, because I don't want to miss out. But yeah. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do, guys, so I sat in the car and had a listen to the system with it tuned to the new gains, and I'm not happy. I'm gonna set it back. I think I'm gonna at least do the 4-channel back to the way I had it, because now, even though it goes louder, there's definitely more distortion at the top end, like noticeable distortion. Before, I went all the way to the very maximum, and even though I could sit in the car comfortably with it on maximum volume, there was no distortion, and I think that's better than what it is now, which is, you know, not wanting to turn it up to max because it doesn't sound as good. So I'm going to set the 4-channel back to the setting I had it on, which was the higher quality setting for the gains. Oh, actually, no, what I need to do, because I did turn some of the punch EQ on, so I'm going to try turning that off first and see if that fixes the issue, and if it doesn't, I'm going to set it back to the original gains that I had it set at for the -5 dB, where it's loud, but you can still sit in it at maximum volume and listen comfortably. And then the subwoofer, I will, you know, I'm going to leave it as it is now, but I'll come back to it once it's in the box and flexing, because we're going to get a better idea of whether it needs to be turned down or up or what once it's in the box and built. But I'm definitely, I think, going to tweak with the 4-channel amp a wee bit now before I do anything else. But I'll do that real quick. I won't film it because you guys have seen me tune the amps twice now. So I'm going to tweak that a wee bit, see if I can get it back to the way I had it, where I was happy, and I'll try and figure out what to do after that. So yeah, I'm going to have a tweak, and I'll come back to you guys when I think I've got the 4-channel back to a setting that I like better. Because yeah, listening to it before at upper volume, there was just noticeable distortion, and that's not what we want. So give me a minute. By the way, shout out, this is my auntie and uncle's song that they got married to. Shout out to you, Susie, if you're watching. This is your song.
A few moments later.
There you go, guys. I think I fixed the slight distortion issue I was having before at the top end. Turning the punch EQ for the 4-channel amp on the front and the back off definitely solved the issue. The only reason I turned it on in the first place, or turned it up a wee bit, was because when I was doing the tuning with the DD1, I got the gains all the way up to the point where there was no distortion, right? And then I tried playing with the punch EQ, and there was a certain point where you could turn the punch EQ up to and get distortion, and then I turned it back a wee bit. So there was no distortion according to the DD1, but then when you had the music up really loud, then I could audibly hear it. So turning those down but not touching the gains, I left them where they were, solved my issue. So now we're back to a nice loud system that can go, like now I can get up to about 30 out of 35, and it sounds clean, it sounds super loud. I'm happy with it. I probably could have gone louder, but that was like show-worthy loud at about 30, so I'd be happy with that. I'm happy with how the 4-channel is tuned now, just with the gains up higher like that, but the punch EQ turned off. Problem solved. I'll come back and address the Rockford Fosgate, come back and address the monoblock amplifier situation again once we've done the subwoofer in the box. But that's where I'm going to end today's video, guys. I know all I really did some tuning and some carpeting, but for me really the next steps are, what are they? They are doing the LEDs and doing the sub box, and that's all that's left to do on this car. So hopefully the LEDs will arrive sometime in the next day or two, and I can maybe get them done this week. I can't remember if I explained it or not in this video, but if you haven't seen what I talked about in the other videos, we're going to put LEDs underneath all of these heatsink vents for the 2 amps. And I'm also thinking, because the subwoofer has a big fat grill that comes with it, I'm also thinking I might be able to sneak some inside the grill there to light up the cone of the subwoofer as well while it's going. I thought that'd be quite a cool idea. So I could probably do some wire running for that. I need to do a wee bit of wiring for the LEDs under the amp rack as well. I might just do that this afternoon. It's not really worth filming. When I go to install the LEDs, I'll show you real quick what I did, and that'll be another video. And then the other thing I have to do, as I said, was start working on some subbox stuff. So, I think it was it Monday night or Friday night, I got a wee bit of subwoofer box stuff done because I had run out of things to do. So this goes down here. So I got the bottom plate, this little vertical plate, and this angled piece made up. See, it's hard to put in with one hand, but that obviously goes like that, 45 degree. So really the next step is I'm going to start, as I say, I might try to do some LED wiring and stuff this afternoon, but after that I'm going to be trying to make a side profile for a subwoofer box that can sit in here and the roof can still go on. So that'll be probably maybe tomorrow's video. Yeah, we'll see what I get up to. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video and for following along. Again, I'm sorry for the kind of confusion with the uploads for Monday and yesterday, but I think it's all sorted out now. We should be back on track. Thank you guys for watching. Choose to be happy, and I will catch you tomorrow. Kite Ano.